Normally I'd do this kind of thing as a live stream. By the way, check out the live streams if you'd like to see the unboxing of the teacup or anything like that. We like to do a coffee time occasionally, maybe a lunch break or a late evening. So I figured that it's been about 2 months since the last video. I've been experimenting with shorts. We've done the live streams, but you know, I figured, hey, YouTube doesn't promote those videos the same way that they do regular videos. So this morning I got up and said, you know what, heck, I'm just going to do an actual video, get back into it, and I didn't spend a lot of time with the camera or the audio or anything, and this is mostly a test. So here you go. Here's your quick, it's been about 60 days since I released a video. You know, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Yep, we're just going to say thank you very much. This is the Patreon page where you can help support our efforts at the Hacker Homestead. I guess we should do like a channel update or something. I am really just testing out the microphone here, and I'd like to know how it sounds. So it is, the microphone is just like right here, and I'm kind of curious how well it's working. This is really about me figuring out the next chapter, if you will. We had the Tinker board, all right, and that has been produced, and it really needs to go under test. What are the different protocols? So well, see, because I can't even remember, what I really need to do is make a testing sheet for this. But we do already know that the SD card works. It does boot. Oh, it's I2C and I2S for audio, and SPI. That's it. SPI. It's early in the morning, getting my coffee. GPIO, general GPIO, LCD. This board had a lot of claims, right? And in our community, we have had several folks, particularly Captain Ron has been amazing at trudging forward, where he has been really quite, I wouldn't say abusing, but, you know, he's been going at this USB port, and then broke down has been going at different kernel modules, and we're finding out just all the things you can do. You know, when you're talking about an Agile project, one of the things we like to say is there are these different phases, right? There's the storming, there's the norming, and there's performing, right? And our team has done quite well, and we've definitely gotten through the storming part, and that almost includes the scramble to build the board, and go through, get it assembled, get the boards out to people. Now we've got about 6 or 7 boards out to people. I did an order of 5. I think Captain Ron did 3, but then he had a few more. He's got some inventory of parts that he's got to see if he can get going. That might even go into the Rev B. Yeah, so it's been a fun adventure on the storming part of getting this prototype built by our sponsor, PCBWay.
PCBWay specializes in taking your PCB dreams and making them a reality with a broad array of services and quick turnaround times. They don't just do PCBs, they also do 3D printing and injection molding. Are you just getting started? PCBWay hosts a library of community and open source projects. You can order these directly from their site or download them and modify it in something like KiCad. Tinker out your own modifications and get it going quickly. Upload your design and bill of materials, then use PCBWay's turnkey service. Their engineers will review, produce, and assemble it all for you, making it easier than ever to make prototypes and professional electronics projects at an affordable price.
It made the red boards. The green boards Captain Ron hand built, and that was a whole other experience that was fantastic. couple other things. We've stood up a website, not only for the Hacker Homestead, and that's pretty small, but we are starting to collect the documentation and go in a direction for learning and getting started with the Teacup board and on its own site. Well, it's technically hanging off of the Hacker Homestead site. That's also me learning how to use Hugo, which is a whole nother fun thing. And yeah, so here you can see that we've started setting up a web page here at hackerhomestead.com. This is a place where you can go and get additional details, show notes, files, things like that, and also links to the Teacup. Obviously here we don't have much on the site yet, but there is a nice collection of files, including if you're looking to download SDK files, the Ingenic FTP site mirror, or even something I'll cover in a later video, which is being able to run Slackware. And we're going to go into the Teacup site now. This is definitely still under construction, if you will, and you should proceed at your own risk. But here's a little bit of information and an idea of where we're trying to go to build a curriculum type guided learning. But then we've also got cookbooks that I'll be adding on. And this one, well, it is 15.1, is a quick and dirty write-up from Brokedown's experiment with running Slackware 15.1, where you can also add packages. And so we've got at least the critical path information here. That's the website update. We're hoping that after putting this under test, we will be able to document the results. That we already know that there are a few board corrections that will need to go into a revision B or even a revision A.1. The main thing right now, the main challenge on the storming, right? So in the norming part, we would be doing the documentation and getting this out to market on something like a GroupGets or having a small inventory. And then the performing is when, you know, you all want to buy one and start learning. One of our issues at the moment is we have actually yet to be able to get a camera working. Okay. Now, one of the other members of the community, I know his first name, but how do you say it's a river in England? Thames. That's it. And I don't even know if it really is. I think it's a river. Anyway, that's where around where he lives. Thames. The Thames. iThames, who has his own embedded company, his own embedded consulting company, has taken a liking to this board, taken a shine to it, and we were able to get him one sent out. There's not that many of them, but to go around just yet. But he was trying to get a Pi camera working, and noticed that there was perhaps some issues with the bus not having a sufficient amount of current. So like we needed additional pull-up resistors or something. I haven't checked back in to see if he's able to get over that. But that is one of the areas that we want to focus before we, this is a prototype, right? So before we go into some sort of like mass production or really pushing hard, just like software, hardware, you gotta sort out the bugs and make sure all the functionality is working. It's just that because you're dealing with atoms instead of just bits, some of those cycles between can take a little bit longer because you're dealing with the physicality of it. Right? It's not all virtual. Yep, that's about where we are with the Teacup right now on just an unscripted particularly testing out my microphone and seeing what's going on, and also setting out for myself, right? What am I going to be doing? Because I had started with the website building some tutorial stuff. Like, for example, I also started building a pin planner so that you would understand what pins are mapped here on the board, and then testing all of the SDK kernel module configurations and going through that so that we can slowly put this thing through its paces under test, get some audio out, get the built-in LCD display working, show off the Ethernet, and then even some of the internals, right? So getting things like H.264 encoding working, etc. So we've already gotten quite a few interesting things. I was able to, for example, get gadget mode working on here so that I had Ethernet and serial through the USB port. There's also a webcam mode, which is kind of what started all of this, is UVC, UVC, I think. Yeah, we want to get back there. We also do very much want to get camera working here, and I know on Rev B, we're already looking at a different pinout to meet, rather than the Raspberry Pi camera, to go after the broader set of cheap camera sensors that we find. All right. Yep, I'm just going to call it there for now, and we'll come back with the under test roadmap kind of progress. Happy hacking.